Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the structure and function of brain in Scoliodon. We'll be discussing about the structure of brain, different parts of brain, cavities of brain, functions of brain, questions based on this topic and the references for this topic. The learning outcomes are we will be able to understand the structure of different parts of brain in Scoliodon. And you will be able to learn the different functions of brain in Scoliodon. I am Dr. P. Rosina George, Assistant Professor in Geology, St. Joseph College for Women, Visakhapatnam. The nervous system of Scoliodon includes the central nervous system, the peripheral nervous system, and the autonomous nervous system. Central nervous system consists of brain and the spinal cord. Brain is highly organized in Scoliodon and shows many advancements over that of the agnatans. The brain is divided into three primary parts: the forebrain or prosencephalon, the midbrain or mesencephalon, the hindbrain or rhomencephalon. Forebrain consists of a massive undivided cerebral hemisphere. The cerebral hemisphere is relatively larger than that of other fishes. From the anterior end of cerebral hemisphere arise two stout olfactory peduncles. Each terminates into a large bilobed olfactory lobe. The olfactory lobes lie close to the olfactory capsules. Each olfactory nerve is composed of many bundles of nerve fibers. The surface of the cerebrum is smooth and the walls are thick. A small opening called the neuropore is present on the midventral surface of the cerebrum. The posterior part of forebrain, that is diencephalon, is very short. The roof of the diencephalon is thin, non-nervous, and contains the anterior choroid plexus. The lateral walls of the diencephalon form two thickened bodies called thalami. A long and slender tube, the pineal organ or epiphysis cerebri, projects from the roof of the diencephalon. The floor of the diencephalon is well formed. A hollow infundibulum is given off from the floor of the diencephalon. The infundibulum is dilated to form two oval thick-walled bodies called lobi inferiors, whose distal ends are produced into two thin-walled glandular sacs called saci vasculosi. The lobi interferiors are the centers for gustation and smell. The hypophysis is attached to the infundibulum. The optic chiasma lies in front of the infundibulum. The optic chiasma is formed by the discussion of the nerve fibers of two optic nerves. The midbrain is large and consists of two round optic lobes. The optic lobes are situated behind the diencephalon. The floor and the side walls are relatively thicker. The midbrain is considered as center of coordination. The hindbrain consists of a highly developed cerebellum and a medulla oblongata. The dorsal surface of the cerebellum produces many irregular convolutions. The medulla oblongata is triangular and the anterior end gives a pair of hollow corpora restiformia with trace of convolutions in adults. The medulla controls respiration. The cerebellum contains a small cavity. The cerebellum is also a center of coordination. It is divided into three lobes by two well-marked transverse furrows. The roof of the medulla oblongata is non-nervous and bears the posterior choroid plexus. The hindbrain controls swimming movements in fish. Let's discuss about the cavities of brain. Different cavities of brain are called ventricles. They communicate with one another and are continuous with the central canal of spinal cord. Cavities contain a liquid, the cerebrospinal fluid. Different cavities of the brain in Scoliodon are rhinoceles, which is the cavity of olfactory sacs, lateral ventricles, which is the cavities of cerebrum, also called paraceles or first and second ventricles, foramen of Monro. It is the opening between first and second ventricles of cerebrum and third ventricle. Diacele. It is the cavity of diencephalon, also called third ventricle. Iter. It is the cavity of midbrain, also called aqueduct of Sylvius. It communicates together third and fourth ventricles, epicele and optoceles. Optoceles are the cavities of optic lobes. An epicele is the cavity of cerebellum. Metacele is the cavity of medulla, also called fourth ventricle. Let's see the functions of brain. Olfactory lobes in Scoliodon, it controls the smell. Cerebrum controls the voluntary movements of the fish. Diencephalon acts as relay center as to conduct impulses to the cerebrum. Optic lobes control the sight. Crura cerebri acts as coordination centers to connect the hindbrain with the forebrain. Cerebellum coordinates the voluntary movements and controls the equilibrium. Medulla oblongata controls the involuntary functions of internal organs like heart, gut, gonads, etc. Now take a pause and answer these questions. Foramen of Monro in Scoliodon is the opening between cavities of medulla oblongata is. The answers are foramen of Monro in Scoliodon is the opening between first and second ventricle of cerebrum and third ventricle, while cavities of medulla oblongata is metacele. To summarize this topic, the brain of Scoliodon is highly organized and shows many advancements over that of the agnathids. The brain is divided into three primary parts: the forebrain or prosencephalon, the midbrain or mesencephalon, and the hindbrain or rhombencephalon. These are the references for this topic. Thank you.